This is a short information video to provide an understanding of digital infrastructure in the context of the VCSE sector. What kind of projects might digital infrastructure be? What impact could they have? And why are they important to help organisations be resilient and sustainable? I'm Annie Legg, co-founder and member of DOT Project, and our vision is a social economy where organisations and teams thrive collectively. We support the VCSE sector to build digital resilience, which is about having the ability to take advantage of digital and the change that it brings, and to have a strong foundation of the right digital technologies and processes. So understanding digital infrastructure. To keep it simple, think about it as the resources that enable digital processes in an organisation to happen. Digital infrastructure is the technology that provides the foundation of operations. It's both physical objects and intangible tools such as software. Examples might include broadband, cloud services, software applications, and platforms. And technology requires looking after, keeping systems secure, data safe, and hardware well maintained. So breaking down a couple of terms, hardware is the physical stuff. It's referring to physical assets and the devices that are used. So things like cameras, phones, laptops, computers, storage devices. And it takes a combination of hardware and software to make computer systems work. So having the right hardware to meet the needs of the software is fundamental. Software provides instructions for the computer. It's a very generic term, but essentially it's used to describe computer programs that run on a computer, mobiles, or other devices. Applications or apps are just a term used to describe software that is designed for a specific task or a set of tasks. We all use many in our day-to-day lives, but things like shopping apps, online banking, social media, school portals, Zoom, and Microsoft Teams. Software can be purchased online or it can come for free. And software as a service is just a licensing model where you pay a subscription to use the application. It is fundamental that the hardware can manage the software. And we all know the challenge of a slow, out-of-date laptop. So why investing in digital infrastructure? There are many reasons. Firstly, improving communication amongst staff, volunteers, partners, and those that are accessing services or trying to find out about you or about the organisation. It's about creating efficiencies and improving productivity, but also it lays the foundations for consistently enhancing service delivery, responding to the changing needs and expectations of those that the organisation is supporting. It is about staff engagement through improved use and ease of use of technology, so not having out-of-date systems, hardware, software, and it's about skilling up the teams to work digitally with confidence and competence. So how have a couple of charity examples approached their funding for digital infrastructure? So firstly, a London-based organisation supporting women and girls. This charity was experiencing a significant increase in demand on their services and also working in partnership on projects with other organisations. Their systems had become rapidly out of date and were not appropriate for supporting the changes in the delivery of their services. This example focused on how to improve their legacy systems within the organisation, so that's old and out of date hardware and software. The funding enabled them to, from a software perspective, redesign their website, introduce an intranet for all of their staff, and also then upgrade their hardware to physical equipment that supported access for users in their refuges and improved Wi-Fi throughout their buildings. But in parallel to working on those tangible projects, they were also working to ensure that all staff were involved in testing the new systems and that they were comfortable and able to use any of the upgraded tools and platforms that were introduced across the organisation. And another example is where an organisation was experiencing a website that didn't meet the needs of the people they support. They were particularly supporting people with disabilities and visual impairments. And the internal systems alone were not accessible to staff, especially those that did also have visual impairments. So the real problem they were experiencing was inefficiency and ways of working. So with their funding for digital infrastructure, they were able to redevelop their website that actually then was able to be used by screen readers and be accessible to a disabled community, and improve an accessible way of storing their documents so it could improve collaboration across internal staff. So assessing readiness from an organisation for funding. The most critical thing is to think about what problem they are trying to solve, rather than them jumping straight to the technology. There are many different ways that technology can solve problems, but what will the funding enable the organisation to do? Think about them expressing that in beneficiary terms. Is there evidence and data in the application around the problem that they're trying to solve? And perhaps think about what research they've already undertaken, and how deeply they understand their needs. And is the application realistic? Ambition is good, but have they considered the time and the capacity of staff to work on a project of this nature? If they're partnering with another organisation, have they built a relationship already? And if they're looking to bring in technology partners, have they already consulted any? Do they already have an understanding of what the project will involve and the costs? And finally, have they taken into account the ongoing maintenance of the project? And this is really critical because technology requires looking after, and it requires people with the skills, the competence, and the confidence to do so.